Good morning. I'm out here watering the plants. Ada Bailey be so proud of me. I could hear her now. I want a piece of that to plant in my yard. I forget what these flowers are, but they smell good. I think they might be gardenias. But a whole bunch of them. This is the first time I've seen this many come up. Usually it's only like 3 or 4. It's a whole bunch of them that came up, and then this is some kind of berry bush right here. I think these are the little flowers that are coming on. These buds right here. I let this garden just have its way. I didn't do too much maintenance on it. But as you can see, leading up to the house, I just kind of let it grow on its own. And these flowers came up. Those. I would take credit for this one here, but I found this one from Goodwill. Alright, I'm gonna walk around. Had a yard sale this past weekend, and I have to take the tent back down and put it on the back porch. But I had stuff all over on this side of the yard. I'm going back here where there's a pomegranate tree, and this is the first year that buds have come on it. And here it is right here. This is a pomegranate tree. A friend gave it to me a few years back, going on 3 years, and there's little buds on it right here. Can you see that? The buds look like little miniature pomegranates. Then down here, as you can see, one has developed into a flower. Look at that. It's amazing. Okay. There's some other buds down inside there. And then there's another flower over here. Okay, so that's one pomegranate tree. And this is a small cherry tree. And then here's another pomegranate bush that's coming up from some seeds I planted. All right. And I got one big stalk of collard greens. These are collard greens. The leaves were full down here, but a friend came over and she pulled off a piece of it and said, wow, these are sweet. So I wound up giving her all the bottom there and said that I'll leave the top here for me and Larry. All right, planted some tomatoes. It's supposed to be cherry tomatoes, but Lord, this one's pretty big. That's pretty big for a cherry tomato. So I'm not sure if that is or not. We got some flowers on there. Come around this way. We got a bunch of more flowers coming up for the tomatoes. So let's see how they turn out. And there's a grapevine. Oh, there's another tomato down there. Way down there. Yeah, okay. Oh, there's another one here. Yeah, tomatoes popping up and I didn't even see them. All right. Threw some potatoes that I had in the kitchen, and I just threw them down here. See what happens. Okay. So anyway, as you can see, I like a garden. This is another pomegranate tree, small. So let's see what it does. It's been there for about a year or so. I planted this cherry tree, I think it was about a year and a half ago, just from a little stem. And it popped way up. I let this overgrow. It's a bunch of blackberries, wild blackberries down here. Then I have a non-thorned blackberry bush that's still in the pot. You can hardly see the pot down there, but it has some nice sized berries on it. So we'll see what we get from that. Yep. If Larry and I don't eat them, I'm sure the birds would love it. But so far, they haven't been messing with it, seeing that they got them a little nice table spread over here. And this bush right here, there's some kind of white blooms that come on, large white clusters. And I do mean clusters because the flowers are little miniature flowers in the cluster. So in one single cluster, there's probably over 200 little flowers in it. But I have to take a picture once they come forth. They will come forth. This bush was very small, and it's grown right large. Let's see. This cactus plant. This year was the first year a flower came on it. I saw the bud. By the time I came back out, the bud was like right here, where that little sinkhole is, that little crater. That's where the flower was. But by the time I came back out, the flower was already, had bloomed and was dead. So I didn't get a chance to see the full flower. I wish I did. And I think that's the only flower that I saw come on there. So we'll keep an eye. See if it does anything else. Let's see, what else can I take up your time on? Okay, let's go out here to the front mailbox. And there's some things going on. I had a couple of apple trees that didn't flower this year, so maybe they'll bring forth next year. Now this thing here looks nice. It's coming up nicely. But this is the mailbox. I'm gonna have to reposition the address because the plants are covering the address up. Yeah, had a pumpkin for Halloween. I set it down in there, and when it seemingly it melted away, the seeds are now germinated and grown. You see that flower? That's a pumpkin flower. And it actually makes a nice looking plant. And these come back every year. I usually have to take a stick and tie them down because they get rather tall and lengthy and heavy. So I'm gonna have to get some string, I should say, come back and tie them down. Let's see. Last thing is the pear tree. Planted 2 pear trees, and this year more pears have came than ever before. Can you see them? All these pears. Makes me think about Granddaddy, and then now on the way to Crestwood Elementary School, we used to rob people's trees. So I asked God to forgive me so folks won't do the same to me. All right, that's one pear tree. This is another pear tree that Larry and I planted. And there's several on here. The other one is a organic tree. This one is a conventional tree. And these got pears on it as well. So these pears. All right, well, that's enough for right now. So I'll condense this in a YouTube video and send it to you. Looks like a bird was building a nest in here. But I guess the squirrels get in there. All right. Have to water these Leland cypresses I planted these when they were only like 10 inches high. Now they're about 8 feet, about 8 feet high. All right, love you. Talk to you soon.